modify the new, I don't even know, like, quick board thing.
I
The
dragged it to the top right, the like inventory spells features and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Can anyone figure out how to get rid of categories?
There's a little book thing that appears at the top right, and you can, I think, click like type in like a category, and it will remove.
That has not been working.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I don't. I is it like just totally fucking you over, or is it just too big because of the small resolution you're using, or what?
Oh no, I'm just trying to get rid of like the redundant toolbars. So like, since I have spells in my character toolbar already,
Oh.
to just simplify things. Like if there's not a way, it doesn't matter.
Oh, well, you can enable it. Like, if you want to get rid of that whole thing, you can just go to like settings, module settings, and just like
Okay.
turn it off. Probably.
Oh, check that out. Okay.
Yeah, you guys have a bunch of customizable shit on your side.
Do you know the name of that particular module?
Yeah, it's token action HUD or something.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
running
this shit
token,
catches
but
flies.
token bar, but I realized when I was trying to explain it to a friend that it wasn't on the app, like not store, but whatever app page, and it was because the maker of it joined together with a bunch of people to make this fancier version, which is got lots more utility in it.
It's not letting me unclick.
I just unchecked the first box under the token action HUD thing and it disappeared.
Yeah, you have to go to configure settings and then module settings.
Okay.
And then you can. Wow, I'm gonna have to come in early and like click around on everything to really optimize this.
Feel free to do it now. I'm eating ramen noodles.
Ooh.
Hey Garrett, do you want to take Fox on your side of the gate? He's being a little spaz.
Fine, I'll take the spaz.
Ooh, I like our new map buttons up top.
Yeah, a friend of mine. So, one of my buddies that I play D&D with, but that I like have played with since junior high, he he converted his campaign to Foundry like 2 weeks ago, and he's like a computer programmer. He's one of the smartest people I know, and he was like, "Oh, so I took all of the things you did, and I've also done all these other things." So last night he was showing me all these other things he's done, and one of them is make the map like navigation tab open and accessible to you guys at all times. I was like, oh, I'm stealing that shit.
Yeah, this is sweet.
So as open-ended as the previous session felt to plan, this session felt about as open as it possibly could be. You guys are like out to sea with no sense of what you're gonna do next. And I had a really hard time figuring out what the fuck I was supposed to plan for this. So if this goes like too far off of anything I've anticipated, then we might have to like pause for 30 minutes while I generate scenes.
Well, you know, we can always go ballista shopping. So.
Correct.
For your non-boat.
Just throw a couple of krakens at us. That'll keep us busy for a couple hours.
I mean, Missile could just make you a ballista.
This is true. I can make many things.
I'd have to figure out what the size, like how much it would cost, but then Missile could make it for a fraction of the cost now that he's level 10.
Magic ballista. That would be cool.
Yeah, it can shoot fireballs instead of wooden projectiles.
You can also shrink it as well, right, Dylan?
Maybe. Does enlarge reduce work on inanimate objects?
And that would totally solve all the reasons we had to not get one.
Exactly. Or I can wild shape into a T-Rex. You could put it on.
Tie it around your neck.
Yeah. And, you know, one of you guys can, you know, like ride and like shoot a ballista as I'm being a T-Rex.
Yeah, Dylan, could you make like a platform for this on the back of a T-Rex?
Yeah, there would be a missile-sized saddle and then a ballista-sized mount.
Well, I think I know what we're doing today.
Yeah.
There you go. Nailed it.
So if John could find some fan art of
Yeah.
a gnome riding a T-Rex with a ballista somewhere on the T-Rex, we'll
Yeah,
be
I've
good
got
to
it
go.
in a folder somewhere saved here ready.
I think
Tori's-
that's one way in which we are predictable.
Yeah.
Tori's looking at me like I'm a fucking madman talking about riding T-Rex with ballistas.
Feels accurate.
Maybe Lincoln did it.
Right there
I'm
with
sure
you, Tori.
We're a bunch of 5th graders, all right.
It's accurate.
Very accurate.
Also true.
You're the dumbest bunch of geniuses that I know.
Yeah, if we
prefer-
didn't already have a group name, that would be it.
The dumb geniuses? I prefer the smart idiots.
That's pretty sophomoric of you, man. No one?
Overeducated morons.
Uh.
That might be a good name for us.
Oh boy, that hits too close to home.
Yeah, no, that's a little rough.
I think that's what they called Heidegger, right?
Probably. Called them a
Oh.
lot of things.
And then,
You get a lot of flack for telling the truth.
Wow.
For unconcealing the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been rereading all of Heidegger's lectures again for this paper, and he's just shitting on academics in his lecture courses, like, nonstop. And specifically theology people. It's pretty fun. He's got a lot to say about the state of academia and how it's out of control and it's all about publishing and it's nonsense. And I'm like, hey,
Sounds right.
hey,
Wow.
some things never change.
True
yeah,
that.
you guys moved on so far.
Anyways, okay, well, stream is live and we're talking about nothing. Laurel, thank you for posting the session summaries. Sorry, I started reading through, I got halfway through, and then, I was like, oh shit, I should probably work on this one thing, and then anyways, I didn't, finish it. But, thank you for posting them, I'm sure it's perfect.
Oh, thanks.
I should probably check to see if you described the last events accurately, but I guess we can clear that up in post. So, as for where you guys are at right now, you just survived and returned to the ship after slaying the king, which was a quest given to you by the queen, who kind of unexpectedly made an appearance in the bay here at Kingsport on Gunderlin. At least her fleet did, as far as you know. You don't exactly know who's there, but yes, unexpectedly to you, the Queen's fleet arrived, sort of on the heels of the Obsidian Tide fleet, which seems to have attacked Kingsport, and you guys are sort of fleeing from the scuffle, secretly in your ship, heading back towards towards Luskin, and that's sort of where we pick up. You guys kind of came back to your cabin, and I believe a number of people just sort of crashed into their bed because everybody is super tired. But if we want to pick up before that, like if you guys want to have discussions before you go to bed, we can do that. Alternatively, we can pick up in the morning. I don't care either way.
I'm good for in the morning. I feel like we were all pretty exhausted.
Sure.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, Mosner would probably do the same thing. He'd probably just be out already.
Okay, then who's going to have woken up first? We can just open with that.
I mean,
Taryn can.
I'll say Zolda and Darren both wake up and come into this room. Nobody else is in here currently. Captain Z is not here. And you find Scooter hard at work making breakfast.
yeah, I would probably just have something to eat, and I have to meditate for
Sure.
my spells.
Yeah,
If
Taryn would just.
if
be
you guys
picking
wanna-
up food.
complete a long rest, you can.
Oh yeah.
No, this is too much.
Do I lose my exhaustion because it's a nice room?
Yes.
Should I roll a wisdom save, John?
Yes.
If I could find it, hang on.
Exciting.
Yeah. You know what to do, I guess.
Nothing at all, of course.
Mhm.
Don't pay attention.
It's just funny how he's become totally accustomed to this new routine.
What do you mean? It's always been my routine since I was a wee lad.
Sure. Isolde will, upon seeing Taryn, just say, "Good morning. You look refreshed."
Oh yeah, that cabin is probably nicer than anywhere we've stayed since Silvery Moons.
Yeah, agreed. It's nice to get some rest. I wanted to apologize, by the way, for getting you caught in that spell that I cast. It was bigger than I thought that it would be. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Taryn just kind of shrugged and said, "It was probably the right call given DeMarcus's state. Magic can be a little unwieldy, so."
Yeah. Luckily, I know what mine does most of the time, but I don't envy you. You're holding a lot of power.
He kind of nods and says, "Yeah, I don't. A lot of times I don't even know what's going through my veins."
Yeah. Well, hopefully we will not see anything quite as gruesome as that last combat for a while. At the very least, we can rest assured that we will be here with nice food and nice beds for a couple more nights. Should be good.
Yeah, should be good.
And she'll go off and meditate.
He'll just keep picking out his food.
After a while, Captain Z comes down to the chamber and sort of waves at. Is it just Isolde in the room, or is Terrence still there?
Terrence there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both there.
He says, "Hey, good morning. I wasn't sure how long to let you guys sleep in, but you looked like you went through a lot."
Yes, most of us are still asleep, I think.
Yeah, it's understandable. I wanted to let you know that we have been ordered not to return to Luskin. The Queen wants to see us out at sea here.
Not to return to Luskin, like, immediately, or not
Correct.
to return at all?
No, we were told to wait here and await further orders.
Alright. Is this unusual? Do we have reason to be concerned?
He sort of looks unsure and says, well, it does go against the original order, which was to get you in and out of there as fast as possible and back to Luskin before anybody knew what was happening, but perhaps the Queen's fortuitous moments in battle has sort of changed the plan.
Do you know anything else about what happened in battle? Or why the Obsidian Tide chose now to attack?
No. In fact, all of that is very strange. I don't understand why they would even consider doing it. The Obsidian Tide was no match for the King's fleet, though I guess ambushing them in the port was as good an attack as any as they'd get, but no, it still seemed foolish. Don't understand why they would even try.
Did they do much damage to his fleet, or?
It seems like they were able to sink a few of the King's ships, but not long after the Queen arrived, and they were sandwiched, crushed on both sides, and all of the ships are now sunk.
Do you know if their leader was among them?
I've only heard reports, people have witnessed it. I don't know about anybody from on the ground, so to speak, so no, I can't speak to their leadership.
Well, I suppose the Queen will have answers.
Perhaps, yes.
And you are quite loyal to the Queen, are you not?
Of course.
Right. I know you had said previously that you, I guess, regretted being involved in some of this trafficking. Do you know if she feels the same way?
I believe she does, but what the Queen believes is always something of a matter of speculation. She's not easily read.
Yes, that is certainly true. When should we expect her?
By the evening.
All right.
Perhaps the afternoon.
I'll make sure we're all up and ready, looking presentable.
Sounds good. If you need anything from me, I'll be nearby.
Thank you.
Yes. And he walks out.
It's all very strange.
Yeah. I suppose if she was going to turn on us, this would be the time to do it.
That is my fear as well. And it is odd to me that her fleet and the Obsidian Tide were only a day behind the ambassador. So, I suppose this was always her plan. I just don't understand how the Obsidian Tide fits into it.
Don't know. Maybe, well, hopefully she'll just pin the death of her father on the Obsidian Tide fleet.
I suppose that would be convenient.
I mean, that might just make us a loose end, though.
Yes, indeed. Without knowing their motivations, it also seems quite dishonest. Benji did not strike me as a... Well, I guess I did not know him that well. I suppose the good thing about her meeting us at sea is that if it does come to conflict, that there is only a limited number of people that could come to her aid. They might be weary from the fight in the bay.
Yeah. That would be best. I don't like doing it, having to fight out at sea, given that they're all experienced sailors and we don't have much experience at fighting on the water, but it's better than fighting the entire Queen's Guard.
Yeah. Although, obviously, if the Queen does declare us as enemies, I think that probably all of Captain Z's men would turn on us as well, and even if we were successful, we could not pilot the ambassador back to Luskin. We will have to find a way to talk our way out of it if it is, tenuous.
That's probably the best plan.
I wish I was more skilled at such things. I'm not the best liar. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think she likes us well enough, and we've done what she asked, so...
I can hope for the best, at least.
Yes, and prepare. Just in case.
Bosner will walk in, kind of stretching, and he'll say, "Good morning. What are you guys talking about?"
The, coming events of the day. Actually, I think it might be best if I go and wake everyone, so that we can have some frank discussions.
We might want to divide out what we found as well, just so that we're as well equipped as possible.
Yes, we should definitely do that. I'll go rouse the rest of the group. And Joel go into the chambers and wake everyone up. Gently.
When you go into Missile's chamber, he'll already be awake, kind of pouring a powder down Morty's nozzle and like tamping it down, and a little wafer of the powder comes out, and he eats it.
What are you doing?
He'll like turn around really quickly and look at you startled and go, "Oh, nothing at all, just morning routine." Kind of smile.
Interesting.
Well, shall we?
Yeah, whenever you're done preparing Morty, I don't know what it is you need to do, but we're going to have a bit of a meeting.
It sounds delightful. And he'll, like, puff up and follow you out.
So Vosner will turn to Taryn and say, "So, how do you feel? It was a pretty intense battle that we all went through."
We've been through worse, and I don't know if I got the worst of it. The Damon had me scared for a minute.
Very much so. It was so strange to see him go down so often. It was definitely not something I prepared for. So I know that we seem to be in the thick of things, and I know Isilda is very vested in what we're going on here, but I just have a feeling that we might be getting in a little too deep with the politics of it all. Not to say that I don't care about what happens to the people here, but I don't want us to tarry too far from our larger objective here.
Yeah, I think you're right. It just seems that there's no good way to pull away from these politics without making our main objective even more difficult.
Yeah.
And we just keep getting sucked further and further in.
We may have to make ourselves look greedy or dispassionate. That might be a hard conversation to have. Though, I do feel like, as we grow in our strength, that might be a little easier. But we may have to figure out how to at least distance ourselves and just keep our wits about us. I haven't had a dream in a while, but still. I think we need to make sure that some of us are focused and remind us. I don't think it'll be well received, though. So, just wanted to see how what you thought about it.
Yeah, I feel like Luskin will be Luskin no matter what we do. If the leader changes, the town won't. It'll just be a new tyrant. So it's probably best to just leave it to its own devices and only be as involved as we can in order to secure the temple or the old ruin.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you keep that separate from all the other workings of the city.
Yeah, we seem to be a convenient tool. I mean, considering what happened with the king and what's going to befall that. But on the other hand, we're using the queen in the same way to secure the island for us. It's just terrible that it comes at such a price.
Taryn just kind of shrugs. I won't think the price has been that high. The dead vampire king is a good side effect anyways, so
Yeah. I meant the other people involved, not the vampires, or the zombies, or those things that are a little bit antithetical to life. But everyone else. But I don't know. Like I said, if we get bogged down into that, we won't be able to move forward. But good riddance to that pirate king.
Taryn kind of nods and kind of picks at his food.
And Vosner will try and pry Paco away from his little hoard of half-eaten root vegetables.
Yeah, Paco's gotten super fat at this point. He has been eating an unhealthy amount of root vegetables, and he's kind of gotten to that point now where he's like a little bit territorial about his hoard of food, and he's sort of obstinate.
Yeah, I pick him up by his tail and poke his belly and say, "We're gonna have to train this out of you."
He burps.
And I work up a little mini squirrel regimen of squirrel squats, tail flips, and things like that.
You begin doing exercise routines with Paco.
Yes.
What are Damon and DeMarcus doing right now?
Damon is silently keeping to himself and ascertains that an important meeting has started. He's basically trying to be separate from everyone for as long as possible this morning.
Marcus just slept as late as possible because he got the shit kicked out of him and he's a wreck, and he would probably just wake up and groggily comply with his oldest call to a meeting. And is the meeting in the this fine ship kitchen?
Indeed.
Yeah, DeMarcus is just gonna start fucking tucking in on those excellent cheese wheels over there.
Yeah, you go to town. Scooter's also made a nice breakfast buffet that he's been bringing out to the sailors out in the main dining hall, but he gives you a small version of it.
Yum.
Once it's clear I can't put off being around everyone else any longer, I will get up and walk into the room and I will say, "Good morning, everyone." And then I will look over at Taryn and just say, "Taryn," before immediately averting my gaze.
Taryn will just kind of nod, but you won't see it because you averted your gaze.
And lastly, what's Johop doing?
Upon being woken, Johop immediately, sort of before even opening his eyes, his right hand shoots out and starts feeling along where he's sleeping there for his mug of ale that he sat there before going to bed. And he grabs it and kind of groggily gets to his feet and wanders out and is tossing him back.
What a crew.
Yeah.
We've all got our coping mechanism.
Nobody's happy.
Vosner seems okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, never mind. Vosner's doing all right.
Me and Paco.
Paco is happy.
Yeah.
Fat and happy.
Yeah, we're working on that. I should have prepared Dominate Beast to make sure he finishes his workout routines.
Okay, and all of you find yourselves in the main room, and Scooter goes to deliver breakfast out to the crew.
Nice. So we have a couple things to talk about. The captain came to visit just a little while ago and said that we are not going to return to Luskin right away, but we are going to have a sort of meeting with the Queen on the open water, so she is going to be here probably by the late afternoon. And I think we need to all talk about not only what just happened, but what might happen during our meeting with the Queen.
You feel like this is a trap?
I'm uncertain. It is odd to me that she would want to meet us here, particularly since she promised us certain things, some of which is monetary, and it seems impossible for her to fulfill those requests on the open water. So, I'm not sure.
Through a mouthful of food, DeMarcus is just kind of like bumbling around in the kitchen, and he says, we're now part of a grand conspiracy, so one of the possibilities is that she'll need to fill us in on what the story is and how we're supposed to act before we walk into town and blow her cover. It's likely a pretty complicated plot that she's constructed that we're a part of, so it's either that or, well, she'll just sink the ship and kill all of us.
I had considered the second part, but not the first part. I suppose that holds some merit as well. I thought it might be worthwhile to send a message to Benji to get his side of the story on the conflict in the bay before we learn the Queen's side.
I feel like that might reveal too much about what we know.
That is fair.
Have you spoken to Marin, Isolde?
Not since the last time we were on the ship.
Should update him on what's happened, just in case.
Yes, I suppose. Especially if we are going to be sunk. And if we are preparing for a fight, we should divvy up some of what we found in the vaults and from the king. There's some useful things here.
What is it that we have?
I'm gonna post it to the chat.
Whoa.
Also, keep in mind we still have the barbarian loot from a long time ago. I don't know if anybody can use it.
Yeah, that's up in our little group loot thing. +2 daggers, spider silk armor +1, and spider silk boots.
Might I suggest that we give the Ring of Water Walking to Damon?
Seems like a good idea.
I may get some utility from it, but it should be noted that if any of us fall into the water, I have the highest rate of survival given my lack of need for oxygen.
No good to us on the bottom of the ocean, Damon.
Well
Can I
reasoned, DeMarcus, and I'll take the ring.
Suggest either DeMarcus or Johaf take the Ring of Protection.
DeMarcus would, he's not like stoked for anything like that. He would gesture to Johaf to take it.
Boy, you forgetting how that last fight went. I think you need this ring.
Yeah, DeMarcus would put it on. While like double fisting loaves of bread and cheese.
Would you like me to throw that in your inventory, Matt?
Yeah, I can do it. Can I? Or I mean, if you
Yeah,
want.
it's from a compendium, so if you can find it and put it in, feel free.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Just so I'm making sure I know what I'm looking. It's like a +1 AC ring.
It's just a ring of protection.
So
Oh, protection. Yeah, gotcha. Right, thanks.
Is that 1 to AC and saving throws?
Correct, yeah.
Is that studded leather armor good for anyone? Like a missile, is that something that you could potentially wear with low strength?
No, missile's gonna kind of remain outside the distribution of the loot there, because moving forward he's gonna be able to take care of himself with crafting his own set of gear there. So we'll pass on the leather armor.
I don't think anybody. Oh, can Vosner wear it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It fits for Vosner.
Studded leather armor with cold resistance.
Didn't we have like a shape-shifting armor for you, Vosner, that would like carry over into your wild shapes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm wearing now.
That's
which
what
is
you
a
made out of
+2.
Jacoba's scales.
Okay, so
Yeah,
those
I have
stud
poison
levels-
resistance, so it might be good to have, depending, because we're still up here. But I should keep on this armor. So, thank you for that, though.
Well, hopefully we'll get the opportunity to sell a couple things in town. If
Can
we return
anybody
to town.
use a rapier? Because that looks like an awesome sword. But
I can't. Anyone?
I mean, I think I can, but then I wouldn't be able to use my other badass sword.
yeah,
It's also a finesse weapon, so
I don't think I can. It's a martial weapon.
yeah, martial finesse.
Only fighters can, really. Fighters and rangers and
Rogues.
rogues. Yeah. Nope. I'll take levels in ranger. Why not? Then I could use it, right?
Well, yeah, and then I don't think that +2 dagger isn't the one that Missile took, right?
No, it is not.
Negative.
I will take it just in case I want to throw it.
Okay.
Fire resistance. Yeah. That's all we need, I guess. I guess we'll sell the rest. Probably would be a good idea to get another one of those fancy bags too.
yeah.
Is that something I could manufacture? A bag of holding?
Let me check.
Whoa. That would really feel like we've come far.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, it's uncommon. Cool.
Yeah. It would be, I think, let's see, what's your ability save for crafting?
Let me find it, because I'm an idiot. This is level 10. If you craft a magic item with a rarity of common or uncommon, it takes you a quarter of the normal time and it costs you half as much of the usual gold.
Yeah, so you could do it for 2,000 gold worth of materials.
Cool.
But I would have to figure out how long it would take. So give me a second.
The spider silk armor, is that not require attunement?
I don't think so.
Nice.
I think
Well,
it's just normal.
just normal.
Yeah.
Cool. Vosner will put on those booty boots.
Oh, you mean the spider silk boots?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Those
no
might be
attunement
'cause
required.
they're
Oh, nice.
wondrous.
Yep, if you want to throw them on.
Sweet. Alright, I'll just slide it from the group loot pool then.
Yeah, just drag it to your inventory.
Mhm.
Equip.
So you said it takes you a fourth of the time, Dylan? Fourth of the time, half the cost?
Hang on, I gotta read it again because I'm a fool. Quarter of the normal time. Yep, and half as much cost.
Okay, so it would take approximately 5 days for you to make one,
Nice.
if you wanted to make one. I will say it's a little bit wonky to suppose that you have the materials on you, but I guess, if it's just a magic bag.
Well, I've got some little things that I want to craft myself. So the
Sure.
next time we get to town, I'll go out and buy a bag and a ring and some other stuff to get
Sure.
to work crafting stuff.
Sure.
So it seems that we are prepared for a fight, if that's what it comes to. Hopefully it does not, and we will just sort of fill her in on what went on. I think probably honesty is the best call, though we should be prepared if she asks us what we found, that she might want a cut, if not all, of the gold that we found. It is a possibility. Since we did take it from her father's vault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we can not bring it up and then see what happens.
Agreed.
Well, do you think we should prepare, just in case? I do have some spells that would help us on the sea, but in case things go sideways.
Yes, I think we should be absolutely prepared for combat.
I would prepare for combat first and then surviving at sea later.
Well, I can give us both the ability to walk on. Well, I can give us the ability to walk on water. I don't have the ability to grant us to breathing underwater, but I don't think you need both. Just depends.
It is good to know. Hopefully we don't find ourselves on that side of the ship, but
I would
good to be
suggest
prepared.
giving the queen the gold. It was her
Good.
father's. The way that kings and queens and hereditary types work is that she'll consider it her property.
That's a good point.
You think we should
It would
give it to
increase our
her?
chances of avoiding a fight if we gave it to her, and it might help us to simply get what is rightfully ours, control of the island, and move on from this.
That's a good call. We might want to give her her father's sword too. If she asks. Some people are attached to those sorts of things.
Yeah. And also, not to sound cruel, but we do have to stay a little distant from the inner workings or the politics of what's going on here. Even though it might be against our personal best wishes, we have the larger mission to consider. I feel like even though gold, it helps things move along much more smoothly, if it comes down to material positions, I think they would weigh us down. And it seems like Missile has quite the stock of valuables. So
Potential valuables, to be sure.
Well, you got that shiny chair. I don't know how much it is, but everyone seems pretty impressed by it. Platinum is understandably valuable, but we have to make sure we don't forget what we're doing here.
Yes, I think that is all true. It will be difficult for us to outfit ourselves, though, for the rest of our journey of what we are meant to do if we don't have that much gold. If it increases our chances, though, I suppose we could set it aside and give it to her to produce a bit of goodwill.
We'll find a way to make do with less.
We do have some to sell as well, so there is that. But perhaps we can only hope for her generosity, I guess.
Yes, I think that's a good plan. Hopefully it is an unnecessary gesture, but it might be our best bet. And I will tell Marin what is going on.
It's true. And then I guess that brings us to our next order of business. What do we do once we get back to the mainland? We have to find the relic after we secure the island. But we also have a pesky set of dragons that are in the area.
We also have a lich hanging out beneath the relic, or beneath the teleportation circle, that we might want to deal with at some point.
Probably be wise to bring some allies the next time.
And deal with it sooner rather than later, because the more time he has to regenerate. The harder it will be.
Well, I suppose I'm a bit confused here. Why is the witch really our problem now?
Oh, well, we need the tower and the teleportation circle there, or the portal there. And it just makes it really hard when we go over there to have to deal with an undead lich every single time. It's a loose end that we should probably tie up.
Terran nods along.
But we can keep it alive for you, Johoff, to punch it every once in a while.
I suppose maybe I'm just not understanding nature's what we're doing here. Why does we need the tower? Didn't we shut down the portal?
Well, we need the tower to open it, to open the portal back up. Remember, just like the one on the island.
It will be
Gunderlin.
a different portal than the one that we closed. It won't go to the Hells.
Is Scooter in the room?
No.
No.
Okay.
Get him. Anyway,
Yeah, we want it to connect to the guild.
So we can get back, right? We can get back to Mossdown?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it'll connect up with Mossstone so that the guild could have like a foothold here as well. And
So you see a sort of dark cloud kind of pass over Joe Hoff's face, and he turns and stares at Isolde for a second, and then doesn't say anything else.
She's gonna look back at him and not say anything. But she does look a little bit embarrassed. So,
insight. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da.
what are you insight checking? We didn't say anything.
Just want to see if Johoff is pissed at Isolde or just distrusting.
I don't know. Was he trying to even cover it up?
Pipe check.
Nope. He's pissed at all of you.
Nice. Vosner will say, what's wrong?
I think it's best if we focus on the issue at hand for right now. We can discuss this later.
Okay.
So, Bosner did have a point. When we get back to the mainland, we will have to decide if we are going to uphold our promise to Gilgamesh or go after the relic right away.
is our promise to Gilgamesh still on the table, do you know?
I don't know. I had told him that we would be stuck working for the Queen, and he offered a way out of it, and I'm not sure if ignoring that offer meant that we no longer had a deal with him or what, but I am almost hesitant to ask him in case his answer is that he still wants us to go. But I know several of you did want to go. It just isn't, maybe our priority.
Yeah, I think we can deal with that once we get to the mainland.
Agreed. We don't even know what the rest of the day will hold, so we'll just focus on today then.
Nice. I guess whenever we end this conversation, Vosner will take the 10 minutes to ritually cast Water Walk on everyone, but he'll do it at the end.
Good call.
Does Demarcus know that he can walk on water after this, or is it just kind of like on this, like, you know, did you do it like was there like a speech attached, I guess is the question.
Vosner would take a bit of cork from like one of the wine bottles and sit and cast the spell. So you would hear him muttering in Druidic and moving his hands around, and eventually the cork would disintegrate. And at the crescendo, he would say, "Well, now That should take care of us. We'll be able to walk on water.
Given everything I just ate, it would take a miracle for me to walk on water.
We could test it out, I guess.
Uh,
Why don't you jump on top of that soup? See if you sink.
Would that work? I need to see the text of this.
You'll take burning damage. Soup's hot.
Let me do
No, I'm good. Maybe tomorrow.
Put on the
Yesterday
ring of
yesterday was
fire
long.
resistance first, and then do it.
D&D
Yeah, who
answering
is
the hard
gonna wear that?
questions. How much
anyone end up
damage
wearing
does
that?
hot soup do to people with fire resistance?
I don't know. I think it would depend on the type of soup.
Yeah, I'd allow it, but you're gonna get your dirty feet in everybody's soup.
Gonna season the soup.
Yeah, no, DeMarcus is good. He's enjoying not being hurt right now.
Is there anything you guys wanted to do before afternoon?
Yeah, I have to send a message to Marin, which I would duck back into the bedchambers to do.
I guess Vosner will go to Joe off and say, well, I'm sorry we upset you. I don't know what we transgressed, but I hope we can resolve it, whatever it is.
Yeah, somehow I find that unlikely.
Is it a problem with the portals, or just our role here?
Well, I'm not looking to get into it. If you guys are fine with allowing the guild to basically take over the world, then that's on you.
No, I see your point. It's a lot of power we're giving them. No, I understand where you're coming from.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, but you will excuse me if I doesn't take a whole lot of confidence from that.
No, I mean, I get it. So, well, I hope that you can kick us in the ass if you see if things are just getting if we're getting too deep.
It's very possibly that it might be too late.
Well, I hope that we can make sure we bring some good out of this. So I can't speak to the generations to come. I think for me, there's just something that is much bigger than the portals that are coming, or that the guild is trying to secure, that is seeking to erase this plane. And I don't know if what I'm doing is right or wrong, but I can't ignore it. So
I ain't got a problem with you doing that. I will fight next to you all day long to keep this plane from being erased, but just be sure that in the doing it, you don't also allow the door to stay open for something else to come in. That would be just as bad.
no, you're right. It reminds me of, and I don't think you were there with us, but when we went down below the guild a little bit before we left Moston. The portals that were there, like the Fae and the one in the library, left open for hundreds of years, and it just corrupted everything. So, yeah, I fear that if we're not careful, we're just going to repeat the very same mistakes.
Well, what you feel is right. Just know that a world in which the guild is everywhere is a world in which I cannot be.
Yeah. Well, I hope that we don't go too far. Like you said, it might be too late. But if you can, I'd would always appreciate you by my side in battle. And hopefully there could be a place that you can call home, wherever that is.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
At that moment, the door creaks open, and Captain Z walks into the room and says, you guys are expected to be on top of the ship in 20 minutes. The Queen's ship has been spotted. And then he sort of looks around the room, not seeing Isolde there, and just says, all of you. And then starts to walk back out.
We'll be there.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm just in the back sending a message to Marin.
What does it say?
And the message is, the portal is closed. We are securing ownership of the ruins for the guild. Meeting with the queen today. The king of Luskin is dead. And that's it.
That was pretty compact. You said the portal is closed.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, please.
It's 25 words.
Perfect. You hear in response, that is quite a lot of news. Very well. Well done, Bear Squad. Continue on. Find the relic.
Cool. She's not gonna reply because she's gonna save her spell slots. But she'll come back out into the main kitchen here.
The Queen's ship has been spotted. Should be up there in about 20 minutes.
All right. Everyone ready for that?
I suppose so.
Let's put together a couple bags of the gold then, so that we can present it to her.
We might want to, like I said earlier, throw on the sword and maybe the armor since no one wants to wear it anyways.
Missile,
that's fair.
Missile turns out his bag of holding as 400 pounds of gold plummet to the wooden floor.
And Taryn will take out his share that he's been lugging around.
Yeah, I'll gather up some crates or, burlap bags or whatever's in this kitchen, and put it all together.
Okay. So, was it 500 pounds of gold? Is that what you guys were able to?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adds up to 27k. Now, to be sure, we distributed 140 pounds to everybody else in the squad, so if somebody wanted to pocket some of it and try to get away with it, that's an option.
Okay, I'll just assume you're giving her the full 27,000.
Damn.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So, let me throw you to the next scene. Yeah, this is fine. You guys sort of come out of the lower parts of the ship out to the top, and it's actually a bright day, which sort of like makes your eyes squint. And above you, seagulls sort of hover over the ship, and already the gangplank between the two ships has been established, and atop your vessel are a number of the Queen's sailors for Captain Z's crew, and then across the way is the massive Queen's ship with all of her various troops aboard, and kind of standing at the end of the gangplank is the Queen. On either side of her are the two twins who seem to follow her everywhere, her bodyguards. And she sort of stands waiting patiently at the other end of the gangplank.
So I can assume we're meant to parlay on her ship.
It would appear so.
Alright.
Missile kind of gawks at the vastly intricate array of knots and rope in the sails of the Queen's ship, and like kind of slack-jawed like a small child just stares at it.
Yeah, it is one of the most intricate ships you've ever seen. Far greater than any ship that you've seen in the docks of Moston. And as you sort of come across the plank, the Queen is waiting for you, sort of smiling. Her coat is still sort of tattered, and she does have sort of the look of sort of like smears of blood on her outfit, as though she hadn't been able to tidy herself up entirely from the battle of the night before. And she looks ecstatic as she looks at you. She says, "Welcome to the ship."
Of course, thank you for meeting with us. And she'll take the bags and put them kind of between herself and the Queen.
It is a most impressive ship. Sorry.
It's fine. She says, "Thank you." And she turns to Isolde, having dropped 500 pounds of gold on her deck. And she smiles and she says, "Well, that's one mystery that's been solved."
Yes, obviously we didn't know that you were coming this far out, so
Yes.
um,
And the
short
sword?
delivery is in there, and your father's armor as well.
Very well. Then, you've lived up to your end of the bargain and even more so. Tell me, did he, try to talk you out of it?
Briefly.
Anything
But,
interesting?
No. But to be fair, we weren't really looking to have a conversation.
With that, her face sort of lights up. She says, then, I underestimated you. But, well done.
Thank you.
Very
She
well.
bows her head.
Have you decided upon, what you want in return?
Ownership of the island, as we discussed.
It is done. Would you prefer if, Captain Z took you back to Luskin, or is there somewhere else you'd like to go?
Well, I think that we do need to return to Luskin and resupply. It was quite the battle.
Understandable. Well, I will have the word out that, if you need anything, my people will be able to accommodate. Of course, you will have to pay, but, reduced rates, of course.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Of course.
We are a bit strapped for cash at the moment.
Well, I can, see to there being, at least a substantial sum of money waiting for you on the island. Or, sorry, on the mainland.
Thank you. And she'll bow her head again.
Well, you, helped to usher in a new age. I, am grateful for the part you played.
Do you mind if I ask what was happening in the port? We saw it on our way out.
Well, it appears that the, Obsidian Tide, were seeking to attack my father's fleet. And, I very heroically swept in and, put an end to that. Unfortunately, they were able to infiltrate my father's castle and, kill him.
Ah. I see.
But that is no matter. The people have rallied behind their leader and savior, and, a new time of prosperity can be had for all of Luskin.
Yes, I do hope that it is a time with less unnecessary death. There were some gruesome sights at that manor. I
Indeed.
would warn anyone who goes in.
Yes, I, unfortunately witnessed what you did as well. It's one of the many reasons I thought it needed to be put to an end. But today is a new day. The sun shines brightly on all of Luskin, and, this city will no longer be plagued by factions or darkness, necromancers, demons. We will be free.
Good. Well, obviously we will be seeing you at some points, coming and going from the island, so I look forward to seeing Luskin's new prosperity grow.
As do I. And, if I may ask, what are you going to do with the host tower?
Well, there's still much yet to be explored, as there are in the ruins, so undecided, but that will be for us to figure out along the way.
Very well. I will say that, as ruler of the city, I must urge you that, your ownership of this island is, contingent on you keeping it safe. If, dark, powerful creatures begin to emerge and, lay ruin to my city, I will have to claim it again and, put a stop to it myself. Is that clear?
It is, is there a particular reason why that is your concern? Has it happened before?
You're very well aware that there is a powerful necromancer who lives in the base of the ruins of Velusk, and God only knows what lies at the bottom of the host tower.
Well, we will send some people to investigate.
I anticipate you will be able to handle it. You have proved to be more than capable.
Thank you.
And she smiles. Well, that is all I needed to speak with you about. If you're asked about what happened here, you had nothing to do with it.
One question before we depart. You said that there are no more factions. Is that true for the other pirate factions in Luskan, or is it just mainly your father?
There are no more pirate factions in Luskan. Luskan stands united.
Okay. Could I insight check to see
Yeah.
if why? Totally believe her. Coolest person.
You've never believed anybody more than that.
I pull out Paco. I'm like, this woman is amazing. A great uniter.
Marcus asks, is there any specific story that we should tell if people in Luskan ask us where we were and why we were on the Queen's ships during this time?
You were in the ruins of Luskan. Or the ruins of Velusk. Which is where I found you last anyways. Shouldn't be too hard to come up with a story of whatever happened down there.
Understood.
Well, I have, things to tend to. If there's nothing else, then, I wish you luck, and, I will see you in the coming days when I return.
All right. Thank you again for all of your generosity.
Well, you've earned it.
And I will bow and depart.
And as you guys depart, you see the queen sort of standing in the center of her ship, ordering her men to sort of pull up the gangplank, and they continue off. And it, I don't have the regular map of this, but yeah. Captain Z, sort of standing atop the ship, comes down and says, well, if you guys want, you can stay up here, but I imagine it's more comfortable and there's better food down there.
Yes, I think you're right. It's beautiful and sunny, but still cold.
Indeed. And I'm gonna send you guys back to the ship kitchen.
Taryn will stay up top a little bit, just kind of enjoying the crisp air and looking over the sea.
Okay.
And Vosner will too. He's gonna meditate, and reach out to that larger force of nature that has a little bit more of a personality. Back to the moon deity, moon goddess.
Okay.
Yeah. Try something out.
Are you casting a spell?
He's going to try and cast. Do I have it? I should have it prepared. Not communing with nature. Restoration. Thought I had it.
Well, we've got.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Augury. But he's gonna cast it as a ritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not exactly sure how this works.
Yeah. Let's
it calls
see.
for monetary materials.
Yeah. Do you have?
I guess I don't have
Bones?
specialty sticks.
Yeah. Well, why don't you put that in your back pocket and buy?
Once I
We
get
can buy
back to
the
the
materials in town. But we can. I'll look into this and see what I need to prep for it.
So he will eventually try that out when he gets back.
Okay. You guys, with the exception of Taryn and Vosner, who stay up to enjoy some of the crisp air, return below the ship, with short 27,000 gold and some weapons, a weapon and armor.
What does that put us at, gold-wise?
Oh, at like 611 gold.
Ah,
Oof.
613, sorry.
and all the platinum we need to sell.
Broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are pretty broke.
This will take care of that platinum. Don't worry about it.
No one trusts Missile.
What?
Thankfully, the queen did say she would give us a small kind of like bursary to buy supplies with.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we were gonna be like totally out of luck.
I feel like we should have negotiated the compensation, but she is super powerful and dangerous, so maybe.
Yeah. Azulda's kind of pacing back and forth down in the kitchen, thinking about how that just went. Taryn and Vosner are upstairs.
Yep. Just chilling out. Getting some raisin, you know. Floating in the corner.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye out for krakens.
Mm-hmm.
Crickens.
Freaking.
She like kind of stops for a second and looks up at the rest of the group. Does anyone else have a feeling, like a very bad feeling, about the other heads of the factions?
I assume
I'm
they're
not
dead.
I assume
That's
so
the
as
feeling
well.
you mean?
Yes, that is the feeling. It would certainly help the lie take hold.
Whoever we helped was going to gain an advantage over the others and kill them if they could. How these places work.
It doesn't like make you sick to think about that though?
Does. So I've just seen too much of it.
saw very little of it growing up. In 10 towns, each of the towns has a representative, and they elect a council leader, and I don't know. There isn't usually all of this sort of cutthroat business.
There was a time when I would have felt compelled to do something about it, but I don't know if I'm that person anymore.
I can understand that. We've seen a lot of things. It is becoming clearer, the longer that we do this, that it is quite impossible to help everyone. It also seems impossible to fool yourself into thinking that you haven't done harm somehow.
Marcus, pensively looks off and says, the cost of this mission on this group is becoming very high. Maybe too high. We'll have difficult conversations amongst ourselves and in our own consciences about what ends are worth which means. Easy to lose ourselves on these kinds of missions.
Yes, not so cut and dry as fighting wolves or even cultists for that matter.
Wish I had better answers to your questions and to your concerns. I feel like I should. But I myself know one thing right now, and that is that I'm not in a position to say anything about how we should be going about this.
Is that because of the things that have happened recently? I feel like you used to give me a lot of good advice.
I don't know what my motivations are anymore. I don't know what my faith really is at this point. I feel lost. What happened with the devils down in the caves made me reconsider everything. I don't trust myself.
Well, I'm sure you will find some clarity. Soon enough, supposedly, we will be headed north. There is a temple there, the House of the Triad. Maybe you could speak with Torm.
Would like that very much. You expect to find clarity up north?
Yes and no. I mean, you know better than most, and she'll kind of look at the other folks in the room. There are some things that will have to be dealt with up there. Difficult things.
Yeah, you can tell that DeMarcus's question was exactly about that.
Yep. But there's sure to be clarity. As much as all of this is very difficult, your sort of aimlessness and everyone else's doubts, I think there will be clarity on the other side of adversity. There almost always is.
Everything will be clear in the end. That doesn't mean that we'll like what we did to get there.
Well, when we get back to Luskin, we should at least confirm what happened to the faction leaders. But I think then we should gather our supplies and leave.
How do you propose we get to where we need to be? Walk, sail, ride?
The most traveled way, the way that I came down, was on merchant vessels. There's a vessel that runs to Fireshear, which is a coastal town, and there are merchant caravans that run from Fireshear in to 10 towns in Bryn Shander with supplies. It is very remote, so Darrington, Ironblood, said that his brother is the one that runs the ship to Fireshear, or one of the ships, so we will probably have to go to the Mirbar district and find him and inquire about that.
Will we be entertaining any missions to kill red dragons?
Well, the mission leader is quite possibly dead, and if he is not, I don't think so.
Good. But I don't know if Fosner and Terran will see it that way. Terran wants power. Fosner's interested in the dragons. Missile will want the money.
I spoke with Taryn about it this morning. Yeah, Missile's in the room. I spoke with Taryn about that this morning, and he agreed with me that it is not the priority. So, I think everyone is kind of feeling similarly.
Killing one dragon will be hard enough.
Agreed. Arathator is going to be a challenge. Just getting out onto the sea of moving ice be a challenge.
Well, I trust that you'll get us there. I'm gonna go rest now.
Please do.
Marcus leaves. Do we have like? I mean, there's no like private quarters or anything, is there? Right?
No, there's
No.
just like a one room that everybody sleeps in versus the kitchen area.
Okay, yeah. He'll just go lay down in his little rope bed thingy and read his book.
Nice.
Okay. If Taryn and Vosner want to come down, they can. I didn't want to confine you up there forever, but it's your call.
Yeah, I
Taryn
guess
will,
Fosner
at
will
like the next meal, he'll come down there, but until then, he's content just on the
Gotcha.
deck.
And Vosner will just kind of be up there for about half the time, and then come back down after it gets too cold. Just kind of hang out with folks.
Sure. I love that you guys are looking at the map. So useful.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah. How dare you?
This whole while, Missile's just been kind of sitting on the floor, scribbling diagrams of knots and pulley systems and sails, and also some schematics of some stuff that he wants to make when we get back to Luskin. So he's just got a mess of papers with drawings all over him around him.
What's Johoff doing?
He's minding his own business and drinking.
Classic.
Nice.
What's Damon doing?
Yeah.
Damon is also keeping to himself, just sitting in the corner, dwelling on what he did in the castle.
Vosner will drink with Johoff.
Yeah, Jove kind of like. Oh, there we go. Jove kind of sort of acknowledges him, like nods at him, but doesn't really say much. He just kind of keeps staring off and drinking.
Vosner will try and make awkward conversation, asking him about the best and hardest things he's punched, the most satisfying things he's punched. And that's about it.
Yeah, his responses will just kind of be like, yeah, I don't know, yeah, whatever, like that kind of stuff.
Right. Sweet. Journeying back into 6th grade, guys. It's gonna be great.
Oh. Somebody cut out.
Oh, was that me?
I don't know. It sounded like somebody was about to talk and then they cut out.
Oh.
That sounded like Tim.
Yeah,
Oh, did it not go through?
correct.
Oh, I was just saying it's really high morale for a group that just killed a vampire.
I know, I was just saying, like, you guys just crushed it. You guys knocked it out of the park. You got out safe. You had like, all of your rewards taken away. And you're not happy? I mean, what's going on? Not all your
Crazy.
rewards. You got a ring of protection and a ring of water walking and a ring of fire resistance out of it.
It's true.
Yeah, those are pretty legit. So
The emotional toll in this campaign is just so high.
Fucking
I'm
DM.
sure we will all feel better when we're sailing towards an icy wasteland.
Yeah.
Wait, we're not doing that right now?
You joke, but IRL, that would be amazing.
I know. I know.
No, you guys are sailing towards Luskin right now.
Hmm.
Feel like we need some icebreaker activities, build up team building, morale and stuff.
Yeah. Izzy's watching the group like, I'm in charge of this. Fuck, I'm in charge of this. How do I fix this? But she doesn't know. She's gonna have a beer.
Okay.
The other thing I guess Damon would probably be doing is like practicing moving things with his mind, like as much as he can. Like see if he can get the hang of like lifting some of these apples or something and moving them across the room. Or
do we
sorry,
have
go
like
ahead.
a origin for his newfound ability that we want to focus on, or?
is it the residue of the vampire charm on his brain?
I was wondering, like, something with the vampire?
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking, in that like the effort to like refine it and master it is stemming from the desire to never let that happen again.
Okay.
I have
Do
to
you just
master my own mind. such
Feel the
that-
need to attack Terran every time you use your mind powers now?
No, I feel the need to defend Terran every time. My mind. Like even more so than like Isolde. Like I feel more loyal to Isolde, but in terms of like people being attacked, I have this like protective instinct.
Yeah, I noticed that during the rewatch in the corpse flower fight.
Yeah, that or not a protective instinct, but just like this need to atone, that I feel penitent.
There's also probably the common knowledge that if Terran dies, he's gone forever.
Yeah,
And in hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
no kidding.
Well, there's 9 of them, so, you know.
It could be a decent one, you know?
Yeah, pick one.
We made a lot of good choices.
Or no choices at all. Oh yeah.
Well, if you guys just have like a sulking dinner evening, that's totally fine. We can
Yep.
cut to you guys sort of getting ready for bed. Is there anything you'd like to do before you get another long rest in?
I think at some point Izzy would try to get Scooter to like find her a dice set so that she could maybe get people to play dice.
Yeah, you send him out and he keeps coming back with random shit. That's like unhelpful. At one point he comes back with somebody's spectacles and you're like, What? That guy probably needs those."
Yeah, put those back where you found them, please.
And garlic spider.
And I'll go over to Missile. Could you make me like a little set of metal dice?
I'll need, of course, a small amount of metal and very high heat, but it should be doable. And he'll look over at the cauldron of stew and the furnace basically beneath it and say, I think I can do this. And he'll, let's see. Seeing the shovel, he'll get his tools out and like whack the shovel up into little bits of metal and forge a set of dice for you.
Nice. Yeah, so once it gets late enough and everyone's had a drink or two, she'll ask people if they want to play dice.
Taryn will. He doesn't seem that bothered. He just seems kind of like calm and reflective right now.
Nice.
Missile hands off the dice and is eager to see how they do.
I'm sure they are perfectly random dice. Crafted to perfection.
Okay, who's all playing dice and how would you like to carry it out?
What is it usually, like an intelligence check?
I think that's how we were playing it before.
Alright.
You could try to play it other ways, I guess. You could try to play a game where you're bluffing and then charisma check, I guess.
Oh, that would be fun. I'd be very bad at that.
I mean, maybe it's that you choose the way in which you play and then everybody rolls against each other.
Taryn bluffs really well, but doesn't understand what he's supposed to be doing, and just totally fucks it up.
Fair enough.
Adorable.
Yeah.
After we play a round or two, she'll look over at Joe Hoff. Do you want to play dice with us?
I'm all set, thanks.
All right. This time we should definitely try a bluffing game. Yep, very bad. Oof.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Taryn
Everyone's such a good liars.
basically steals the pot by lying to you all in the most convincing fashion.
It is very hard to be suspicious of you, Taryn. You're very good at this game.
Thank you. The key is to not really know what you're doing.
I suppose that would help.
Well, I guess I should be winning then.
Yeah, Missile appears baffled by that remark.
Well, I thought I knew what I was doing, but apparently it only made me worse, so...
That's right, Captain. You got too many things riding on your mind. You just got to be in the moment, be free.
I don't think I've ever known what that feels like.
Really? I mean, we're on a ship, in the middle of a sea, kind of being able to do whatever we want. That's pretty free. why not?
Oh, well, there's a lot to think about, you know. I think if I was, like you said, in the moment, then sure, there's not much to be done right now. But I'm thinking about 2 weeks from now. There's a lot to be done.
I suppose that's true. But I guess gotta learn how to all relax. In a sense, I guess time will come, but at some point you need to give your brain a rest. Otherwise, you'll miss out on things.
I suppose.
And
She looks very unconvinced. Entirely unconvinced.
Vosner says, "Another round." Just being in the moment, putting all the root vegetables on the line. Damn it.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Pass.
Charisma?
Hard pass. So good. Taryn is much too good at this game.
Paco is now my loan shark, and I owe him triple the amount of root vegetables.
Gonna
Shouldn't have
break your
taken that
knees.
loan.
Oh, that's adorable. Tiny bookie.
Yeah, he's already got the look. You just need to get him an eye patch or something. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, all bookies have eye patches, obviously.
In Faerun, yeah.
Can anybody roll me a d20?
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do for the evening? Should we just like montage it off?
Yeah, we could fade to black.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Get in another long rest, and those who need to recover points of exhaustion. And you wake another day. Let me move you guys. Let's see. You're on your way back to Luskin.
Yeah, how many,
About a day and a half left.
Nice.
Vosner will look out into the sea and see if we can find like larger animals that he can shape into while we're going for part of the day.
Like
You're-
whales?
You're whale watching?
Whale watching. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roll a... I don't know, let's say survival check. Or
Alright.
perception, whatever you want to roll.
Okay. Let's go. I think I'm better with perception. Yeah, better with perception.
I'll say that you spend the first half of the day looking for whales, and at one point you think you see like one in the distance, but by the time the ship sort of gets into that area, you don't see it.
Darn it. He will try and find the coolest whale to shape into, preferably a narwhal.
Okay. Yeah, you have to kind of dedicate the day to it.
Oh, definitely. If he can be a unicorn whale, he's definitely gonna do it.
Very well.
Can we see, like, the glacier and the mountain ridge and everything from the top of the ship?
Oh, you mean like the sea moving ice?
Just like different, landmarks that she might be able to point out.
You're too far out to see. You're 100 miles off. I don't think you'd be able to see that far.
That's fair.
I guess it is a question of, like, how far can human eyes see? I don't exactly know. I could be wrong. Can you see 150 miles?
It'd depend on conditions, I would think. And, I mean, how tall the mountains are.
Yeah. Well, if it's possible to see that far, then yes, you would see, like, the peaks, or, like, the ridge of the spine, like, faintly in the distance. But I can't speak
Exciting.
to if that's possible.
That's
'Cause
fair.
I ain't a scientist.
Sure.
What's that magic science, though?
Artificing.
That's right.
That's the one.
Yeah, about on that, the next day, Missile kind of tinkers with Morty a little bit and goes to the top of the ship and, like, stands on Morty. And what happens is the cannon kind of stays stationary, but Morty's legs kind of, like, fan out and start spinning very, very quickly. And Missile will fly around the ship while we sail back.
So Morty turns into, like, a hover pad.
Yeah, man, you get it.
Turns into a drone? That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's kind of tricky at first, and he'll, like, teeter-totter and not go very far, but he'll figure it out.
The crew from the deck watches in amazement as this very small, sort of dirt-covered gnome hoverboards around the deck,
That's
sort of
excellent.
bumping into shit.
If Terran's up top, Missile will say, "The secret is to not know what you're doing."
Taryn will laugh and appreciate it.
That's excellent.
Okay. Is there anything else people want to do, or we can just zip ahead to landing?
Other than watching for narwhals?
Oh yeah, you can roll perception again if you want to cut that.
Come on, here we go.
Hey, I made the DC
There we
25.
go.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
nice.
see giant whales, you see narwhals, you see any kind of whale you want to see, Garrett.
Sweet. I want the coolest narwhal ever.
Yeah, I'll have to see if there's actually narwhals though, like in the game.
I mean, there's gotta be. I mean, that ram attack would be so great.
There's killer whale.
Hmm. It's true.
But yeah, we can work on the details for that.
Nice.
If you want to have a giant narwhal with killer whale stats or whatever the stat block that makes sense to you, we can do that. Just let me know.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Killer whale. Sperm whale.
What's everybody else doing for the rest of the day?
Izzy's gonna try to have a conversation with Joe off at some point.
Okay,
He's around.
we can cut to that.
Can I try and fill a mug with?
You cut out. Can you say it again?
Can I try and fill a mug with ale and then float it over to Johoff with my mind?
Yeah. What would you? What do you think you'd roll for that?
I mean, intelligence is like the governing stat for. It seems like the Psy Warrior stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So just make an intelligence check then.
Damn.
I don't think you'd be at disadvantage anymore, would you?
I still have
Oh.
exhaustion level 1.
Well, it doesn't fucking matter. You crushed it either way. Yeah, I'll say you, with a 20, over a 20, yeah, you're able to do it.
With the hope that the skill of it combined with the gift of ale might soften Johaff up a little bit.
Well, it did scare the shit out of him first.
Good, he'll be off his guard. Yeah, she would come also with the idea of bringing him an ale, but seeing that he has a fresh one, will pour one for herself and go and sit down by him.
He looks over at you and kind of nods and then goes back to drinking.
It's going to be very hard for us to do this journey if this is the way that things will be.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It was probably much easier when I was fighting to help the guild take over the world and didn't know it, right?
This is not exactly what we are doing here.
Oh yeah? Well, what is it you're doing then?
Well, first of all, take over the world is a very negative sort of thing. I don't gather that those are Marin's intentions.
Yeah, what do you know about Marin's intentions? You were his, companion. He told you what he was up to, did he?
He revealed quite a bit to us. He has given years of his life in order to build what he has at the guild. He's trying very hard to protect the city from the things that are underneath the guild. He has given us resources to fight the cult, wisdom from the masters to make us stronger. I'm not sure why you see so much evil in him. I have seen very little.
I doesn't see evil in him, I doesn't see good in him, I doesn't know what the fuck he wants. All I know is that when I start seeing some kind of organization that is militarized, trying to find a way to get a foothold all the way around this fucking world, I'll get a little bit upset.
I could understand that.
Can you? Spent a lot of time on the streets hiding from the man, have you?
No. No, but I would imagine there would be a lot to fear if there was a singular person in control of Faerun.
You know, I lived in that town that Marin was apparently so intent on protecting for so many years. I gotta tell you, I didn't see a lot that made me think he was there for us.
Is that why you don't believe much in the gods either?
When you live to stuff I've lived to, it's a little hard to believe there's anybody up there who gives a flying fuck about what goes on down here.
Alright. But just hear me out for a second. I am, in many ways, the hands of my god. No one is going to see Ilmater or know that he is the one that gave me these powers. But when I help people, it is only because of power that he has given me. And the power that we have gotten by training at the guild is what helped us, take down the king for one thing. And the villagers who will not be sent there never knew that they were in danger of being sent there. They will never know that someone interceded on a terrible thing that could have happened to them. They might think that no one is helping either. But they are. We helped set things right with a cult in Mossstone. People might not know who we are or where that power came from. But doing that helped put Big Pete in charge. And you know he will help your people. It is not so direct as the gods coming down to lift you out of what you're going through. And I am not trying to help the guild take over the world. But I want there to be defense for as many people as possible against people who are trying to take over the world. Like the cult of Sirik.
Did it ever
I
occur
would
to you that the cult of Sirik showed up in Mossstone because of the guild?
Because of the guild?
Look, anytime there is a locus of power, there's gonna be other things that rise up to challenge it. Without the guild there, I very much doubt that the cult of Sirik would have given a flying fuck about Mossstone. So sure, Marin held the doors shut to protect us all from the great big baddie that was there because of the guild. Forgive me if I'm not super impressed. You spread power of the guild around the world, right? You really think for a flying second that the increase in all the people who rise up to challenge it isn't going to tear this world apart?
I can't know that.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
And what if there were other, darker forces trying to rise up and there was no one there? Is that better?
I'm not saying there shouldn't be people to fight back. That's what we do, right? It's what I do. But you don't see me then trying to make myself ruler of the whole fucking world so I can do it.
Well,
You seem to be suggesting that we've got two options here, right? Either the guild is present everywhere to fight the evil, or the evil takes the fuck over the world. I see no reason to think those are the only two options. And the fact that people like you and me and the rest of this here group exists proves my point.
proves your point that there will always be someone to help?
That we don't need the guild. That we don't need to have some sort of structure that comes into places and imposes a particular view of how life ought to be.
Oh. Yes, I suppose we could be independent adventurers. And in many ways we are, just as the other squads are people with their own perspectives on things. Look, Joaf, I don't know everything about what is going to happen or how this will go. But I am not trying to let the guild dictate how I handle things. I am trying to do good. And as far as I know, all that Marin is trying to do is create a system of transportation so that people like us, independent or associated with the guild, can travel and respond to threats quicker. If something massive tried to take down Silvery Moon, they could send people there to help. That is all. It is not replacing the leader of Luskin with the leader from our town. We're not trying to buy the whole city or change it. Just
After
secure
what we
one
just
location.
did, you're gonna sit here and say that to me after what we just did in this town?
Obviously, the things that we do in any place are going to change, but I mean, we're not imposing a leader from the guild in every city.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope it stays that way, but I've seen too much shit to believe that's the way it's gonna remain.
That is fair.
And look, I like you guys a lot. I owe you my life over and over again, and I will continue to fight by you so long as we are doing right like that. But you need to know something right now. The guild begins to start to try to take places over, and people rise up to fight back. You need to pick a side, and if you are on the side of the guild, you will be facing me out there.
I understand. If it is any consolation, if that were to happen, it would go against my beliefs as well.
I just hope you all recognize it when it does.
I hope that you will be around to help me see that. You are wise in many ways that I'm not. And I'm sorry that I wasn't, more forthright originally.
Yeah, for future reference, if you think what you're doing is acceptable, hiding it is not the best way to make it seem that way.
Fair enough.
I'm too old and too tired to deal with people's bullshit at this point.
I hope that, we can at least keep going together.
Well, I can run on water, but not for very long, so it seems like I haven't got much of a choice for now when we're stuck on a boat together.
It is fair. Well, I guess, in the interest of honesty, when we go north, it is so that we can find an artifact that will open a portal in the ruins so that people can travel between Laskin and the Guild and New Gunderlin, where we fought the fire elementals, and eventually other ports. But
You gonna mention that to the Queen?
not particularly.
Yeah, I didn't figure. Can't say as I would blame you. She'd probably kill us right away. Which, by the way, is kind of my point.
Yeah. I know this wasn't how you wanted things to end here. If we're being honest, it's not how I wanted them to end either. we can talk about that another day.
So, we're just going north to find some kind. What is it? Like a weapon or something?
A staff.
And what about you?
What about me?
Well, known you for a little while now. Haven't really heard you talk much about your growing up days up in the north. I'm wondering what sort of artifacts we're gonna find relating to Isolde.
Well, that is actually a conversation that I would like to have with everyone, so if you don't mind, I might go call the others from above deck, so we could talk about that.
Suit yourself.
I'll go gather people from up top.
Okay. Assuming no objections, you're all gathered down in the kitchen, and Scooter is busy handing out dinner, so he is not there.
So, we are going to restock and hopefully board a ship to Fire Shear and head north in the next couple days. Assuming everyone else is on board with that.
So, I guess it's we're abandoning the hunt for the dragon then, huh?
Sorry, I cut out again. I didn't hear anything that was said.
No. I said, Vosner will say, so we're abandoning the hunt for the dragon then, huh?
I believe that would be wise.
Do we still want to deal with the Lich first? The Queen kind of made our ownership of the island contingent on there not being evil things spewing out of it. And so if he rebuilds his power before we get back, we may lose control.
Yeah, that's a good point. Perhaps we should do that first thing when we get back. Or after we restock.
Yeah. How long are we going to stay in Luskin after? Or is it an immediate departure after we deal with the Lich? Or are we going to be...
That depends on the schedule, I assume, of the Fire Shear boat. We also might want to talk to our friends who are exploring the tower to make sure everything's under control there.
Yes, the Queen implied that the host tower might have greater evils than the Liches.
But if they have it under control, we may be able to put off dealing with them.
Yeah. I think we should talk to them and let them know that whatever arrangement they had with the Wizards Alliance still stands. They should keep working there.
Yeah. Well, as long as we have some sort of timeline, there's some things that I want to look into if there's a place in Luskin that has any sort of academy or books, or maybe we can talk to our scholar friends about some things.
Yeah.
Sure. I just don't want to linger too long.
I think if the boat if the fire shear boat is a couple days waiting, then we'll have time to fill something to do to fill the time, but we shouldn't delay our departure for side projects.
Yeah. Well, that's more than fair. There's definitely other things we have to do, more pressing things.
Yes. So, when we reach Fire Shear, there's a trail, a caravan trail, that leads to 10 towns, and my hometown. And I figure that that is probably where we should make base, rather than heading straight after Rathatur.
What then after that?
Well, hopefully we would be able to stock up on anything we need and ask the locals about any information about Arathator's movements or sightings. I'm sure there are probably stories of other adventurers who have tried to find him. And once the information gathering is done, then we should make our way up there. But we will at least be provided for well enough. My family is there in Bryn Shander. We should be able to stay with them.
Another contact that's beyond the guild, or these wizard folks up there, or do we need to secure that information before we go? Seems like we're kind of flying blind after this point.
There are no further contacts that I'm aware of. It is very remote up there. I doubt that there's anyone up there waiting for us. But I contacted Marin, and I will contact him again to let him know where we are going.
It'd be helpful if we found that out. But, yeah.
Seeing how this is going, DeMarcus looks at Isolde and says, "We're to stay with your family in Brimshander."
Hopefully. There is, of course, some things that I have to fill you all in on. The way that I left Bryn Shander was quite sudden, and I have not spoken to my family since then. So it will be a bit of a complicated arrangement, but I'm going to try to contact them on our way up there and at least see about the state of the town. Bryn Shander is the site of some struggles. There is a man in power there named Raynor, who is quite divisive, particularly against those related to the barbarian tribes. So there's quite a bit of division. And anyway, the reason why I left was that there was a friend of mine. His name was Hammond. He was my age. Who was killed for having a barbarian bloodline. And I tried to defend him, and I killed the man who killed him. But he was kind of a high-ranking individual. So it would not have been seen as defense, if you know what I mean. It would have been taken out of context, and it would have been a threat to my family. So that is why I left.
So maybe we shouldn't expect an entirely warm welcome.
Well, that's the thing that I'm not quite sure of. I don't think that anyone knows that it was me, but obviously I left at kind of a suspicious interval, so it is possible that it won't be a warm welcome.
Isolde will follow your lead when we get there, but you should definitely understand that it will be hard for any of us to hold back if anyone tries to harm you.
I understand. And like I said, I'm going to contact my family and see if they can update me about what is going on up there. Obviously, none of them know what I did, so... I will have to at some point tell them.
It's a normal thing, right, for people with the barbarian blood to get killed by people in your town?
Well, for a while, there was pretty constant wars between the Regedman tribes. There's two different sorts of barbarian groups. The Regedman tribes are more common up there. They're different from the Uthgard that we fought before. But the kind of assumption is that all of the barbarians are the same. And yes, if something goes bad in the town, the assumption is that it was the barbarians' fault. And if there aren't any barbarians, then someone with barbarian bloodline. So it's quite complicated.
Well, complicated is what we do.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should expect there? Something terrible in the magical sort of sense or natural sort of sense? Seems like wherever we go, there's some sort of demon or monster lurking as well.
No, actually quite the opposite. Hang on a second. Quite the opposite, actually. I mean, a Rothator is up there, but the area itself is quite nice, and there's a lot of holy places. There's a temple to Amanatur, there's the House of the Triad, there's the Druid's Glade. It's not a lot of evil magic, just a lot of, I guess, of the very human sort of evil.
how do I put this? What about magic of the liquid salt?
There's plenty of that. My parents own the inn in Brinshander, and there is a tavern attached, so you will be well taken care of.
Joe kind of looks around at the rest of the group and goes, right, so let's not dilly-dally when we get back to Luskin. We've got places to be, right?
She seems bolstered that he's in a good spirit.
You seem to be better, Johoff.
Yeah, well, alcohol is something I can definitely get behind.
It's true. What's the plant like up there? Plant life up there? I know it's been a little sparse, but I'm eager to see what forests look like.
Oh, well, there's not a lot. The only place that I can really think of that you would enjoy is the Druid's Glade of Sylvanas. It is kind of a place of pilgrimage for druids, as far as I know. We get some through the inn. They come to stay.
Ah. All right. Well, just like Joaf said, we shouldn't tarry too long in Luskin.
Well, I agree, and I will keep you all updated as far as the situation up north goes, as I learn things.
Is there anything other than getting these relics and opening and closing the portals, is there anything else that we need to know? I mean, it seems important, but is there anything that Marin may have said to give us a clue on why exactly this network is so important? Just seems to be one part of a larger plan, I would assume.
I'm not really sure what you mean.
Well, back in Mossstone, we had the threat of the cult. So, are there other threats that are just as bad that we're trying to stop, or why exactly are we getting all these things? I don't know if Marin gave us any sort of further clue.
Yes, he said that obviously the cult is not defeated just because we defeated them in Mossstone. I mean, the cult of Sirik is a threat everywhere. The point of all of this is to make it easier for people like us to get to these different points if we are needed. You know, if the cult of Sirik suddenly tries to overtake Luskin or Silvery Moon or New Gunderlin, that we would be able to travel there and have it not take a week.
Very least, preventing evil things from using these fixed portals is a goal worth pursuing.
Yes.
They're fixed portals. If we know about them, more and more people will be knowing about them. We've already cleared one portal of a bunch of chaotic fire elementals pouring forth from the far elemental realms. We cleared another portal that the demons or the devils of the Nine Hells were using to enter into this world, and we kept the cult of Cyric from taking another portal. Suspect more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's probably something even larger that we're probably patchworked into. But I was just wondering if there was anything more that we all could glean. I don't know, we seemed pretty much on our own. So the more information that I guess we all kind of know, the better.
If I had information, I would share it, but we weren't supplied with a contact up there. The only reason why we are even having to go north is because that was the last known place that the dragon was. As far as I know, there is no portal up there. It is just that the staff was taken up there by a dragon.
Oh no, I understand. I was just wondering.
As you guys are sort of wrapping up this conversation, a knock at the door comes and Captain Z walks in the room. And he says, good evening. How are you guys doing today?
Well enough.
Well enough, I suppose.
Right. Well, we should get into Luskin tomorrow in the afternoon sometime. Figured I'd come down and let you know. And he kind of stands there awkward.
And we stand awkwardly too.
I appreciate you letting us know.
Yes.
Do you have any information for the state of things when we return? I mean, the Queen said that we are returning to a united Luskin. What does that mean for the town?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I know what I think it means, but I suppose we'll all see.
What do you think it means?
I think it means that other threats have been eliminated. That if she took out the Obsidian Tide, then she likely took out the Frost Sails and the Whalers as well.
Well, I'm sure if anyone has all the information, it's the barkeep at the Frozen Rudder, so we'll know soon enough.
I suppose he would know, wouldn't he? Very well. Well, I suppose it's a new regime for Luskin, which is good. It'll be good to be unified. Maybe there'll be less chaos.
I hope so. But, if things do go badly, if things of the king's sort of nature start to happen again, you should try to contact us.
He nods and says, well, long live the Queen, and nods and walks towards the door.
strangely optimistic.
He didn't seem too sure.
About the new regime.
Yeah. I think he's about as uneasy as we are. We don't have any stock in it.
True.
Is that Leif trying to talk? Because I haven't heard him talk in a while.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I apologize, everybody. I'm like doing relatively well, all things considered, but I actually tested positive for COVID yesterday, so
No,
I'm a
Oh,
little
no.
under the weather.
dude.
Friend.
Damon is immune to disease, but I am not.
Holy shit.
It's a computer virus.
Yeah. No
How?
worries.
But Tim just said how?
How?
Oh, sorry. I said how dare you, actually.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God. I was like,
I get it. I get it.
that's crazy. Are you feeling okay? I mean, you said you're under the weather. You're like,
Yeah, I'm super tired. Like it makes my it makes it really hard to focus is what I found more than anything, but
shit. Okay. Well, that's like the saddest thing ever. Stay strong, Leif.
so, yeah, two days before the semester starts. Really good timing.
Yikes.
Yeah. Are you supposed to be teaching?
I am.
Okay,
So
well, let us know if you need help. Or
yeah,
like
no,
someone to
I
cover a class or two.
yeah, I will. I'm like part of a hybrid thing with a few other people, so
Okay,
I
good.
think we've got it handled, but yeah.
Well, it works then that Damon is angsty and quiet.
Yeah, fringe benefits.
Yeah. And that narrative guilt really is coming in clutch.
Okay. Do you guys want to have any more chit chat before we cut to the next day?
I think I'm good.
No messages.
Oh, fuck. Did I say I was gonna send someone a message?
I mean, at one point you sent me a message on Discord with like a list of people.
During the
Yeah,
conversation,
correct.
you said you were going to message your parents.
I did. Yep. Yeah, I will craft those. Because I also was going to kind of send a message to Benji just to see if he was alive. But that might wait until we're in Luskins that I have a reason to think that he's dead.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go to bed.
Okay. Everybody get in another long rest, which is kind of redundant for all of you who don't have points of exhaustion, but you know, or missing hit die. Hey, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. I sleep very soundly.
Okay. And you guys wake up in the morning after another night's rest. Another point of exhaustion gone from Damon and DeMarcus. Oh, I don't know why it's still in there.
Hey, how long do my paper birds take to get places?
They physically travel, so certain mile per hour.
Ew. Guess I have to magically pop into my parents' head then. That'll be interesting.
Yep.
Hopefully you don't walk in on something. That'd be weird.
Ooh.
No, but when she left, she wasn't a cleric at all. So this is gonna be quite the reunion. Oh, I guess I have to long rest. It doesn't change anything for me, does it?
I don't know. I mean, spell slots maybe, or if you were so low in hit die that one rest didn't get it all. But yeah.
Maybe. Okay. But yeah, I don't have anything else to do before we get back to Luskin.
Okay. And so we will fast forward the morning then, unless you want to do anything, and just skip to you guys getting to Luskin.
Nice.
Hearing no objections, you arrive at the Bay of Luskin, which looks thisly.
Ooh.
Hmm.
I like it. Very dark.
As you pull into the bay, yes, on this kind of overcast winter day with little bits of kind of sleet falling aboard the ship,
So
you
heat wave.
you notice that there are noticeably fewer ships in the bay, and none of them flying flags other than that of the Queen's.
Interesting.
And where are you going?
I suppose to the frozen rudder.
Very well. Okay. So,
Were they gonna drop us off at the ruins, or?
wherever you want to be dropped off.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what the queen had said, but
You gotta get supplies first.
Upon landing, Missile is going to mention to the group that he'd like to see to unloading some of his supplies and getting new supplies so that he can start constructing some magical artifacts as soon as possible. So I'd like to go to the market as soon as we land.
Sure.
Exciting. Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay. And just for the purposes of time, that market is being sort of abstracted. You can just we can do the accounting now, like in person, or we can sort of do it in between sessions, what you sell and what you grab.
We'll do it in between sessions, and then
Okay.
if we're about to wrap up, maybe next time we can start with what we've got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're about to wrap up, but
I misinterpreted that.
no, I mean, it's just I don't know if you guys want to talk about like how much you could sell your items for and what you're gonna buy right now, or if you want to like figure out your next move or talk to people. Your call.
Yeah. Do we know how much that platinum chair is worth, Missile?
As far as you know, I think I said, like, let me check my notes.
That's right. You gave us a reduced figure.
What? No, I gave you an honest figure. I think I said 5 to 6.
Okay.
Okay. So you know it's worth 10,000. Let's just do it live. That's fine. Missile wanting to go to the market by himself in order to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So DeMarcus would actually really want to go to the market for his own reasons, but he would not want to be around Missile, so they would both find an advantageous reason to get away from each other.
They both try to ditch each other at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like that's probably how this would work out in the end. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so is Missile being sent to sell all of this stuff, or the other, magic items, or what's the
I
what's
leave
the
that
plan?
up to the group. I could propose that DeMarcus take the loot to sell, and I'll handle the matter of the platinum.
That seems fine.
Very well.
That's
Of
fine
the
with me.
loot, what are we selling? The spider silk armor, the dagger +2, and is that it?
And no one, as far as I know, put on the ring of fire resistance. But
Correct.
that might still be useful.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
put it on. I got free fingers.
Attunement slots for days.
Yeah, it does require attunement.
Okay. Let's see. I think I
Yeah, I think
just
you're
have the
fine.
2 rings, right? Yeah.
You have the Book of Ancient Religion,
Oh yeah, right.
the Ring of Protection.
The mall doesn't take attunement, correct?
Yeah, the maul doesn't.
Okay, so I'd have 3 slots then, with the 2 rings.
Yeah.
2 rings and book. Okay.
Oh, did Isolde took the dagger +2, didn't she?
Yeah, but she's willing to sell it. She doesn't really need it. Especially if they can get some money for it, because they are broke. Oh, how much did the queen leave us?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where do we have to go for that?
I'll just say that she left you 5,000 gold.
Ooh. Alright, I'll put that in our system.
You still want to sell the dagger?
Yeah. I hardly fight with my axe, no less a throwing weapon. So I guess that's a list that we'll just have to search the prices on in between.
Oh, no, I
sessions.
can handle it.
Oh, okay.
So DeMarcus, you're trying to sell a +2 dagger, a silver or spider silk armor +1, and what? Is that it?
I don't know. I guess, yeah. Marcus would kind of, I mean, we can RP this if you want, Dylan. DeMarcus would sort of insist that Missile sell these magic items. He would say, Missile, I'm not really very good at ascertaining the value of magical items. I think that's something more in your wheelhouse.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Honestly, I would probably just take whatever anybody offered for this, which doesn't seem like a good way to do it.
Taryn would offer to go along with Missile if he wants help bartering, because people tend to like Taryn.
You know what? Come along. Yeah.
All right.
It's a good point.
So Taryn and Missile arrive at a shop, and there is a very few-worded person waiting for them.
Ooh, intrigue.
Is it like a general store type shop?
Yep.
Or...
A magic item shop, we'll say.
Taryn will approach the person and say that we have found some magic items that we'd be willing to sell.
All right, what do they look like?
He kind of motions to Missile.
And Missile upturns his bag of holding, and out falls whatever I was distracted. Whatever it was we decided we'd be selling, plus the platinum chair.
You unload a broken down platinum throne, a +2 dagger, and spider silk armor onto a table.
Yeah, and I look at him, and my eyes gleam, and I smile. And I say, what do you think is a good price for all of this?
He sort of steps back as bars of metal clank on the floor, and says, "Wow, you really nailed the presentation. What do you want for it?"
He'll ponder for a second. You said +2 dagger and the spider silk armor?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's say... I suppose 18,000 gold would be a fair price.
Fair price for who? That's crazy.
Why, for you and I, of course.
He looks at all of it and says, I'll give you 8,000 for the lot.
Sir, I'm offended that you would so radically undersell us. Oh, Taryn, I apologize.
Yeah, Taryn just leans in and says, "We both know platinum is almost impossible to come by and very useful for magical crafting. And we went through a lot to get this. So if you're not going to be serious, we can find someone else to sell it to."
He sort of looks at you again. Roll a persuasion roll.
It's all you, Taryn.
No whammies.
Let's hope I don't screw this up.
Hang on, I'm gonna help you out if you need it. I don't think
dang.
he needs it, but just to make sure.
Yeah, alright. So, the shopkeeper sort of stops and says, "Alright, that chair, based on the weight of it, I'd say it's worth about, I don't know, I'd give you 9,000 gold for it. The magic items aren't worth more than 5 together, though. So I'm going to put it at 14,000.
14, and in addition, I'll need a ring, a cloak, and a pair of boots.
Non-magical?
Yes.
Yep, done.
He'll look at Taryn, see what Taryn thinks.
Taryn, if it looks Taryn doesn't actually know what any of this is worth, so if it looks acceptable to Missile, he'd be down with it. So he nods.
Yeah, it is actually. To Missile, by the way, that would be actually a pretty good deal.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it all seems to check out. So, let's do it. He'll extend his tiny gnome hand to shake.
The nondescript and non-important NPC shakes your hand.
Excellent.
And then poofs out of existence. What?
What?
What? You have your 14,000 gold, and you no longer are in possession of a platinum throne or those magic items.
Excellent.
Our bags are gonna be so light.
John, what year is it?
It's 2021, Matt. Where are you?
Okay. Got it.
In this game, it is the year 1415.
Okay. All right, that might change what I'm doing in the market right now.
I love how I know what you're referring to, but I love how it's like the most vague shit.
Give me some stuff, and I'm gonna take it all the way, John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody read the King's Journal.
Wait, I'm sorry. What'd you say? 1415?
1415.
1415. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll do it anyway. So I'm kind of meandering around, I suppose, in the market area. Is there like a section of this that appears to be a section that would sell, I don't know, spices?
Erotica? Oh, spices. Yeah.
Yeah, spices. Or any what I'm really looking for here, and I'll wander around and try to get a vibe. If I don't find anybody, that's fine. I'm looking for somebody who appears to be selling spice, a spice merchant, who is also very, very old.
You do see an old spice merchant.
Okay. I kind of just mosey up to this person. What are they looking like? What do they got going on?
They're sort of like
a later
hunched
gentleman.
over with a beard that sort of like it's so long that it kind of drags along the ground, and because of that, it's like really dirty.
DeMarcus is
Okay.
And as you approach, he says, "You want some cinnamon?"
Oh, perhaps, sir. What kinds do you have? How much?
We only sell cinnamon.
Oh, specific cinnamon dealer, eh?
Yep.
Well, I am looking to buy some cinnamon, but to be
It's
honest,
50
totally
gold.
honest with you, 50 gold for how much? Pound?
Yep.
Well, say you haven't been around this town selling cinnamon for a
My
long
whole
time, have you?
life.
Well, while I'm looking for cinnamon, I'm actually looking for some information. You see, my father used to tell me tales about a very well-known spice dealer who would travel through these parts, named Plotinus Kilvarius. You haven't heard that name, have you?
Plotinus died 20 years ago.
Oh, no. My father said that he had the most interesting stories about faraway cultures and peoples. He was a bit of an anthropologist, it sounds like.
He was the
How did he
worst.
die?
Pirates. You know how it goes around here, pirates.
Was he very well known?
Yeah.
Well, it's sad. I would have liked to have heard some of his stories. Did you know him?
Yeah.
Is there anything interesting about him that you recall as far as the kinds of stories that he would tell?
No.
Well, I don't have 50 GP on me at the moment.
He looks real
Here all the
mad.
time. I don't even have like anything on me right now. I say, well, perhaps I'll be back tomorrow to buy some cinnamon from you. Thank you.
You're the worst customer
And
I've
I'll walk
ever
away.
had.
Oh, and if you remember anything interesting about Plotinus Kilvarius, well, I might make it worth your time in gold. And I'll walk away.
Thus ends the scene with the spice merchant.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally planned.
Perfect. What else are you guys doing?
I assume we want to buy health potions.
Yeah, Rosner will go. I don't have any money, so Vosner will just follow a person who's going to buy health potions.
And we need the materials for a bag of holding.
And maybe some diamond dust? Well, we don't have enough money for a lot of diamond dust, do we?
I have a lot of, not a lot, but
We have 19k.
I have one 500 gold diamond and 600 gold worth of little diamonds, and another small pouch with 50 gold worth of diamonds.
Damn.
Wow.
So we're
Why haven't we robbed you?
Rude.
Yeah. Oh, Vosner will probably go and want to get, now that he knows Revivify, probably get some diamond to be a backup healer. And some ritual bones or sticks or something worth at least 25 gold.
I'll say that, just to skip ahead, that whatever you guys want to buy, put it into a list, and we'll get all the accounting done sort of out of person, maybe.
Yeah.
But the
Whatever
wealth
you
of
guys want.
NPCs
Just
And
put it in the chat and how much it's worth, and I'll start docking it out of the bank.
the longer we do the shopping run, the longer you guys are gonna wish Tim was still code DM, because it's clearly not my strength.
I don't know. I would take 5 of that cinnamon dealer.
Hell yeah, that guy was awesome.
The
Yeah.
good news is that's what all the other NPCs are. So
Wow.
Just a bunch of chain smoking mages. What do you want? I love it.
You know,
great.
but they dealer.
Hey, John, out of curiosity, because I don't know, I don't think it says this on the other tattoo thing. What is just like a non-magical basic ink tattoo cost?
oh, it's got to be nothing, because like a gold should get you a lot. But I'd say like a nice high quality one, like 100 gold.
Oh, it doesn't need to be nice, high quality.
Then like a back alley one be like 10 gold.
Cool.
The one that says no regrets is like 5 gold.
Perfect.
Perfect. How much do you cost?
But Revivify is going to be 300 gold in diamonds, I think.
Yeah.
But that doesn't require a full diamond. It's just in
No.
diamonds.
Izzy, at some point, Missile is going to need to talk to you about financing his work. Since you're money manager and squad leader.
Did Isolde die?
Think so.
Yeah, sorry. My Discord disconnected again. I haven't heard anything since the tattoo.
Oh, Missile was going to ask you to talk about financing his creations.
Oh. What sort of creations?
Well, as you know, I aspire to build a construct of my own. And such an endeavor is expensive. And I assume he would have the gold and the stuff that he got from the NPC, nondescript NPC with him. And he would say, I believe I've undersold the value of this platinum earlier. Well, it's worth quite a bit more than $5,000 to $6,000. It's worth roughly $10,000, and with the additional items, we netted 14,000 gold. Now, should we split this 7 ways, as is fair for the squad, that would mean 2,000 gold to myself. However, forgive me if this is out of place, but I'm wondering if I could take an additional 1,000 gold from the squad's reserves to fund the construct that I'm attempting to build.
Is it a very pressing issue?
Well, for me it is, but I suppose in general it isn't. But as an out-of-work educator, I'm finding it hard to adhere to my old standards of living. Well, I shouldn't say standards of living. I should say adhere to my old standards of research.
Well, it is the sort of thing that you'd have to buy all at once.
I hadn't thought about that. No, I suppose it isn't. You make a very interesting point. No, forget that I've said anything. Would it be too much to ask for keeping for myself the even 1/7 split
Oh,
of
yes,
2,000 gold?
that's quite, yes, reasonable.
Fair enough, fair enough. I apologize for bringing it up. In hindsight, it was a foolish thing for me to ask.
Oh, not at all. I mean, we all try to support each other's efforts. I just don't want there to be any sort of shortage of supplies.
Yes, that would be most pragmatic given what we have to look forward to.
You are a gnome that appreciates the pragmatic, so I'm sure you understand.
He blushes, but you can't tell because of the layer of ash on his face.
But yes, I look forward to seeing what you build.
Me too.
Just a question. Where are you guys right now? Are you going back to the tavern?
I don't know, wherever the hell.
Yeah,
The
I
squad
was at the tavern.
Okay, so I will throw you to the tavern. And, as you walk in... Where's my tavern music?
Now, was this always called Frozen Rudder Battle Map?
Yeah. yeah, it was.
I don't
Because
believe it.
I had an art map, like where I could drop you on, and it was just like an art background. But then it became obvious to me that it'd be way easier for you guys to like go to certain places and talk with certain people if it was battle mapped out. So, the ones that are not top down are usually dash art, and then the ones that are top down are battle map. Or BM
Aren't
for
you
short.
organized?
No, but, you know, I'm trying.
So, her sort of motivation coming in here was to sit down at the bar and just sort of generally ask what's up to the barkeep.
Yep. So as you stroll in, the captain awaits, and he says, "Oh, it is long time. You owe me for many days of rent."
Yes, sorry about that.
"It is okay. I keep your rooms very warm."
I appreciate that. How much do I owe you?
We will work that out. I actually don't remember.
Okay. That is fine. What has been going on while we've been gone?
Oh, well, various factions are being rounded up and eradicated.
Eradicated?
Yes, heads on stakes.
Oh, that is unpleasant. Is there anyone who has escaped this fate?
Oh, many escape.
But I suppose the leaders are, eradicated?
News is that Gilgamesh go away. The rest I cannot speak for.
It will be very different here in the bar.
Yes, well, traffic is down, yes.
Well, hopefully it won't stay that way for long. It seems like Luskin is the sort of place that will produce new, interesting people with time.
You say confusing things, but, okay.
And she'll drink and eventually settle up with him regarding the rooms. And she's just gonna kind of watch and like try to eavesdrop on people.
Sure, roll perception. Yeah. What are you trying to eavesdrop for?
Any news about what happened at Kingsport or the eradication of faction members?
Yeah, so the gossip around town is that the queen survived a attack from all of the various factions united against her and was able to put it down, but her father was killed in the process.
What a revisionist history. Wonderful. Yep, I'll just keep drinking. Till Missile comes.
And, yeah, okay. Missile shows up.
we have the conversation that, unless there was something else.
Nope. That's it.
So we reiterate that. I leave in humiliation.
She gives you her shopping list, which I had posted earlier and already took out of our bank, but it's all interesting holy objects, and I'm gonna assume you probably won't be able to find a reliquary here, but the incense and the silver mirror, at least you should be able to get.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll just sort of hand wave all the shit. You've got to hook up with the queen at this point. She's got special vendors who can get you things.
Nice.
Who's always missing a healing potion from last time?
I think Damon gave his to DeMarcus.
Yeah, I used mine.
Yeah, I did give mine to DeMarcus.
So we need 2 healing potions.
Yeah, at least.
John, DeMarcus is sitting at the bar drinking, across an evening or however long this takes, or whatever. It's some kind of like casually opportune time when the captain is giving him a drink. DeMarcus would say to the captain, "Say, I was walking around in the market earlier tonight, and this kind of crazy old cinnamon merchant started rambling on about somebody named Plotinus Kilvarius, saying something about watch out for Plotinus Kilvarius. Who's that?"
Plotinus is a spice merchant, died many years ago.
He said watch out for his ghost or something like that. What did he die of?
I believe the King of Luskin's ship sunk his ship.
Just regular pirate stuff, or?
He sort of like gestures around. He says, "Welcome to Luskin," and he walks away.
All right, fair enough.
Are you making that right now, Dylan?
That was a misclick. Sorry.
Got it.
I just put a couple, okay, greater, yeah. Okay, so I'll put 2 of those on the list.
Alright, should I just add 1 to my inventory then?
Yeah, and Damon can too. To replace those. And then we all have furs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you bought another set of them.
Yeah, do we want backup furs?
We want better warm clothes. Are there magical warm clothes?
Oh, like a boots of warming or something? There are, but there wouldn't be enough for all of us to wear them. Enough gold, though, I mean.
I mean, we probably don't need them, and then we'd have to carry them.
Yeah.
We need to burn 2,000 on materials for Missile to make the bag of holding.
You could have Missile make everybody boots of the Winterlands, but
Oh, how long would that take, though?
uncommon item, 5 days, pop.
I wouldn't need one.
Also means you can walk on top of the snow.
Oh, then I'd go for it. Never mind.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Probably
You
better
would need
to do
to
that.
buy materials, though, right? How much would materials cost?
I don't know. Let me check.
For the record, one of the infusions I was going to make were winged boots that give somebody flying capability.
Oh, dope.
So I forget for how long, but I don't know if we want a fresh pair of boots for everybody, or I could make something else, but I figured boots that could make somebody fly for 4 hours could be useful.
For the record, those are going to be very expensive.
Well, it's part of my replicate magic item infusions.
Oh, yeah, you could make one set of those then.
Correct, yeah. So,
Boots of the Winterlands are uncommon.
Oh, they are expensive as shit.
Are they?
Yeah, they would cost 5,000 gold for missile worth of mats.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's just
You said
go
that
with
it was half of the usual cost if it was uncommon.
Yeah,
Like it
the
usually costs 10 grand.
correct.
let's just go with the bag of holding.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we still have 13 grand left over.
Are there other winter or cold weather or snow traversing gear that we can get? That's not 5k a piece or 10k a piece.
I mean, we can get the little grippy things that you put on the bottom of your snow boots.
Yep. There are things you could do in terms of travel. We talked about this a little bit. Like with 13,000 gold, you can hire a caravan and wagons so that you don't even have to traverse. You just ride along.
that sounds great.
Yeah, I was thinking for the sake of Missile, who is looking to craft things, you have to be able to not be traveling hard to be crafting this. And if those things take 5 days, per item of craft, you're gonna have to be dedicating that time.
Hmm.
But
All right,
that's
well-
what we do when we get to Fireshare.
Yeah.
And a
So
long way to fire shoot, yeah.
we'll have
Yeah.
to set money aside for fair to fire shear, and then maybe Izzy can send word ahead to arrange a caravan, a merchant caravan, that they can ride into Bryn Shander.
Are you talking about all of this in front of the barkeeper?
No, we should probably be moved to a little booth somewhere.
Cubicle. Our usual room. So sad Gilgamesh's table is empty. Oh, she would relay that once everyone was back from shopping adventures. That the barkeep told her that Gilgamesh left town. And she will send a message to Benji that just says, we just heard what happened. Did any of your men survive? Why were you fighting the queen?
And you get the response, "You think Benji would be so stupid as to fight the queen? Nah, smoke and mirrors. You still want that island?"
She looks delighted and confused. What is smoke and mirrors? You're okay? Maybe Are you somewhere other than Luskin now?
Benji's doing fine. Just let me know if you want to spend that 10,000 by the deed, or are interested in getting me that griffin egg.
I will let you know. It might not be right away, but I will let you know.
Time is
you're
of
safe.
the essence. Things are underway.
Interesting. I will relay all of that to the group. So Benji's alive. Still interested in having us lift a griffin egg for him.
Pretty intense.
Yes, it's good news, I think. He said that the fighting with the queen was smoke and mirrors. I'm not sure what that meant, but I feel strangely optimistic. Regardless, I don't really think that we have time to stick around, but it is kind of nice to know that Luskin is maybe not as united as it was made out to be. I suppose that was always the case, that the city would keep on being Luskin.
Yep, that would, seems like things, it's just a new season for the same old things.
And the captain walks over and he says, "I forgot to give you this letter. It was left for you." And he hands it to Isolde. "A couple days ago. You might want to read it." And then he walked away.
A letter?
And it has a P on the front of it.
Interesting. Can I read it?
Nope.
You open it up, and it is written in Porter's handwriting, though I don't know if you know that to be something that's common knowledge to you. And it just says, "Darkness stirs in the host tower. Is this something you've done?"
Oh shit. Is this something you've done?
Yeah, and then it says, "Come to the host tower whenever you can. Porter."
Well, I don't think we will be getting out of Luskin as quickly as I had thought. It seems like Porter needs our help in the host tower.
Should
Said that
investigate it
there is...
anyway. Queen said that
What?
there's something very powerful and dark there, so we should investigate it anyway before we leave. If we lose control of it, she'll take control of the island, perhaps.
Yes. And as Taryn said, we need to take care of the Lich as well. But I suppose we start in the host tower. If this was left a couple days ago, they might be quite in over their heads. The nice thing is that the island is ours now, so we can just walk over whenever we are ready. And it's like mid-afternoon, right?
It
Oh,
is,
should we go now?
I'd say, like, yeah, like maybe about the evening.
Early evening, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, let's, as long as we're all supplied, that'll be good. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'd rather just save my spells and go rather than waste them on sending messages.
And sort of as you guys are standing up, Isolde, with your passive perception, you hear two people having a conversation, and you don't catch all of it except for the last little bit where one of the guys says, 10 towns? More like 3 towns. And that is where we'll end it for today.
No. Oh boy. Oh boy.